Stampers, it's the Pampered Stamper, and happy Wednesday to you. It's time for Stamping Through My Stash. It's actually 23 minutes late for Stamping Through My Stash, but I made a bit of a squirrel move. I thought I had a video ahead of time that I've made and it was in the wings, and all I had to do was post it. And it's kind of like when you start reading a book that you've read a few years ago. I was making the graphic and I'm thinking, this looks really familiar. I think I've done this, but I thought, well, maybe I made a short. No, no, no. The whole video is already up on YouTube. So if you missed it, make sure you check it because it was a beautiful embossed resist card using the sketched butterflies. So if you missed it and you want me to send you a link, just comment and I'll post the link for that video because it's a great one. And I think only 149 people have seen it. So I have I don't know, I can't forget. I have 7 or 8 or 9,000 people that follow me on Facebook, so 149 is actually really, really little. Anyway, so I'm trying to get more people to watch my YouTube videos. However, we're here now on Facebook and we're live, and I've got a fantastic video to share with you. And sometimes you guys comment, and I don't know what it is. Facebook sometimes let me see later than real life. So if you're commenting and I'm not responding, I'm not seeing it yet, okay? So let's take a look. We're going to switch. And this is the first tool that you need for heat embossing. It is a heat tool, and it has a little switch here that turns it on. And there's a 1 and there's a 2. I almost always go on 2. There's a little clear guard around the tip so that you don't burn your fingers on the steel part. A heat stripper or a paint stripper gun, they work as well, but they get really, really hot and you could burn your fingers. But if you have one of those, it makes a great alternative to a heat tool. The next thing that you need is Versamark. And Versamark is a clear, sticky ink pad. Now, after a while, when you first get it, it's a vanilla color. But after you've had it for a while, it does this. Always store it upside down. So look at this. This is at least 6 years old because this is my old address. And get a refill right away. You should always get refills with your ink anyway right away, but also with Versamark. So be sure to give it a few drops quite regularly because a sticky Versamark pad means great embossing. And then just spread it out like that with the tip. And then you're good to go. And don't worry about it get discoloring. It'll still work just fine. Okay. So then the Versamark pad is ready to go. We're just going to put it away for a minute, upside down. Then you need this. This is the Embossing Additions Kit. Now, I have to say, if you want to do some more work, then you don't need this per se. This Embossing Buddy is basically a sock, a tight-knit sock stuffed with cornstarch. So you could make your own, but you need to have just the right fabric or otherwise you're going to have a big mess. Okay, so I store that in a little bag. And then you need some good tweezers to hold on to whatever you're embossing to so you don't burn your fingers. And then this brush cleans it out. You can also use a coffee filter to pour your stuff in. That works as well. But this is just a great thing. I love it. I use it all the time. And then the last thing you need is embossing powder. I'm going to be using the bright white today. This set, it comes in a set of 3. It also comes with a black and a clear. The clear isn't in hand's reach now, so I'm not going to be using that. And now the stamp set. This Stamping Through My Stash is so easy because it's only 1 stamp. And it is a great big thank you. You need to put it on the biggest block that we sell. Okay, and this is, I think, H. Let me see if I can find it. No, it is F, block F, okay? So I wanted to use the this pretty paper. I've done a couple already, but that wasn't the one I wanted. I wanted to do one that had little squares on it, but I think, oh, there it is. All right, I'm back. So I'm going to be using the large Memories and More card. So I'm going to cut this paper down to 4 by 6. And with this paper, I want to get in the middle of the grid line. So if I go to 4 inches, I'm halfway through. So that means I want to go halfway through on this side too. It bothers me. I'm a little bit of a freak that way. I don't want a wide margin on one side of my card and then no margin. So I'm cutting that margin off, like so. There. And now I want to go to the 4-inch mark. I think I cut that a little crookedly. That's not good. Let's trim it straight. I was in too much of a hurry. Okay, there, now it's straight. And now we're going to go turn it around and get to 4 inches. So 4 by 6. And you know what? I'm probably right on a white line now. Nope, not quite. Perfect. Okay. So I have a piece that's 4 inches by 6 inches. And now we're going to walk you through step by step how to get the best result with your embossing. Okay. Isn't this beautiful paper? I think this paper is also on sale. We have a paper sale going on with Stampin' Up! Right now. It's 15% off. This is called, I think, Full of Life. I think. I'll let you know. So now we're going to take the thank you. Oh, no, Jackie, you got ahead of yourself. We're going to take the embossing buddy and we're going to rub it all over. And what this does is it makes sure that the embossing powder doesn't stick where it shouldn't stick. Move this out of the way, put our stamp here, and just want to look to see if anybody's commenting. No, that's okay. And now we're going to go with a tap, tap, tap. You don't want to press too hard because you don't want the powder going in, the sticky ink going in between the raised edges of the stamp. So just a nice tap, tap, tap. That's why it's important that your Versamark stamp, your Versamark pad is well inked. Now we're going to take it, put this right here in the middle, and I want to put it a bit on an angle. And now I want to give it, I'm going to stand up, give it a nice firm press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's done. There we go. Now we're going to get our tray back, take everything out of it. And I could hold on to it with the tweezers. That's not a bad idea. And now we're going to get our embossing powder. I have a fan going. I hope it doesn't blow it around. But just pour it on. And be generous because you're just going to pour it back into the pot anyway. Okay. And now the next step, I'm just going to take, it looks good, but I'm just going to turn it around and give it a flick. And that way any excess will come off. I'm just going to put this in here. Normally I would pour it back in right away, but I don't feel like it. So I'm putting it well out of the way so it won't get knocked over. And now, oh, Jackie, what did you do with your tweezers? Here they are. We're going to hold on and we're going to take the heat gun. And the trick with the heat gun is don't wave it about. So hold it in one spot and you'll see it change from powder to a bright light. And as it changes, I will move it around. See? It's really quite magical. Now, oops, I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to take my tweezers and I'm going to go to the other side. The ends won't melt, but now you can see I didn't do a perfect job. I kind of missed the corner here on the little loop on the U and here on the K, but I'm not sure if it's because I didn't do it well or if I didn't sprinkle the powder on. So I'm just going to try and see. Oh yeah, this is better because the Versamark doesn't dry. It's going to be okay. So I think I'm going to have it. It's going to be good. So see, there is a second chance if you stamped it well. All right, let's get the bottom of that Y. Oh, that's much better. And the top of the K. Nice. See, so now we have this big, beautiful thank you. And all I have to do is, these are one of your best tools in your arsenal. Assorted memories and more, cards and envelopes. There's 10 big ones and 10 small ones. They are already scored and they have envelopes with them. So it's just fantastic. So just fold it in half on the score line and then use your bone folder or block there. And then all you need to do is put this on and you've got a beautiful thank you card for anyone. You know, I brought one today. I had to pick up a parcel, and the drop-off point was a pet shop. And I don't know if they get paid extra for being a drop-off point or not, but I just appreciated that they have to go and look for my parcel. So I gave her a card, a thank you card that I had made, and she really thought that was really nice. She was touched that I'd taken the time. So it's nice to have an arsenal of thank you cards that you can use. Now, if you wanted to up the ante, you could put this on a mat of a different color, but I liked the white, crisp, clean white. And then you could use the same block to burnish it to make sure it's all nice and well stuck on. There's our card. So that was super easy. I have a couple of more that I've done. We've got this one. Isn't that great? The paper does all the work. And then we've got this one. So that's it for today, guys. I hope that you have enjoyed this quick little demonstration on how to heat emboss. So remember, you need a heat tool or a paint stripper. You need an embossing buddy, and that's especially important if you're embossing on dark colors, on black, bright red, those kinds of things, navy blue. Tweezers so that you don't burn yourself. And then if you don't have the tray like this, you can use a coffee filter. And remember, Versamark is only as good as it is juicy. So make sure that you have a Versamark refill and that you keep your pad well inked. And otherwise, the powder doesn't have anything to stick to, and then you get spotty embossing, and then you just don't want to do it anymore. But embossing is just a beautiful technique if you have a good Versamark pad. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I wanted to mention about St. Jacobs. So the St. Jacobs Fall Retreat is happening September 27th and 28th in Southern Ontario. It's such a beautiful little town right in the heart of Minnesota.